Well, hello there, Just Weller again, and usual, well, I would say recap, but there is no recap because it's straight after another episode, because I've had enough time this week to do two. So, now, the end of the last episode, we had the major failure of the greenhouse. Now, the temperature has dropped down to about 17 degrees, it's a bit more habitable. But while it's still warming up in here, and thanks to, I think it was Peter in the comments, said about the greenhouse has also been heated by the batteries, which I kind of guessed, but it's also a lot from the just generally the glass as well. So what I'm going to be doing, I think, is taking all of these out and actually moving over to the Harvie system. So I've never actually got on to using the Harvie, but I think it's been quite an interesting thing because I know you can do a lot, again, automations, there's inputs, outputs and things like that, so we could put seeds into the input and then export out the fruit that it creates. Actually saying that, I don't think we need to input the fruit, or the fruit, sorry, the seed. So I would think we just need to export only, and they'll just have to hand pick it. I think there is something you can do with fertilizers, but again, whether or not I need to do anything that crazy, I don't know. Let's see, fertilizer. So there's this whole fertilizer system which I've again never really looked at. I don't know if this exactly works. If you can put fertilizers into the input, because the input for the Harvie mentions plants. So let's go back onto Harvie. Here it says import plant. That implies you can't put into it the actual fertilizer. So it does make it a little bit problematic, to say the least. So I think what I'll probably do is just concentrate on export only. I'll just plant them manually, because once they're planted they're fine, they'll just keep on the way. I don't see any need to actually harvest the, well, say put these seeds into them once they're planted. The next thing I've got to work out is how wide of an area each light is going to take. So the light is going to be sort of splashing over a large area, and these timer scripts are going to have to work on, well, they actually need changing anyway, but they're going to have to work on an area. So as I have different crops going in here, we're going to have, what we're going to have, tomatoes. What plants do you think we'll have? So we have quite a large selection of plants to go with. I'm not 100% sure which ones we're going to use all. I think it's going to be tomatoes. I mean, they're staple. Potatoes, easy to make baked potatoes with. I would like to maybe make some of these cooked dishes, because it's something that I've never really done too much. We only did it, I think, again, this is before I started streaming recording stuff. And we did make some like bits and bobs, I mean misses, with the muffins and things like that. But I never bothered since, because they kind of are overkill. But something like this where it requires eggs and things like that means we're going to have to get some more fresh eggs from the traders. So fertilized eggs, because can't make it an organic sprinter. I don't think the organic sprinter is a thing. No, I click on it, it's not doing anything, so... The other things we've got on here are your usual cooked tomatoes, things like that. So cooked tomatoes, we could probably just bung it into the automated oven, have it make it, and then from there we could, in theory, just make it into tins. No, we can't. Oh yes, because it's a different thing, right? So I'm presuming, yes, packaging machine. So we could literally go straight in and just automate this fairly easily. So that's another one we could do. Other than that, I'm just, as I say, there ain't a lot of other things in here. You got rice pudding, which, to be honest, is one of my personal favourites in real life. Cooked rice. Is it just cooked rice? So you're not putting milk with it. That's going to be a very interesting rice pudding, to say the least, if they haven't put actually milk with that. Okay. I mean, normally you'd put milk with it, so that'd be more like boiled rice, but anyway. But yeah, as I say, I think that's what we'll do. We'll just probably go through this, might even make some french fries, or chips as we like to call them. Requires oil, which is from the soybean, in the Regent processor. Okay, so that's another one we're going to have to worry about. So, yeah, I think french fries will be on the menu. We can do tomato soup. We could do pumpkin soup. I don't think we do pumpkin pie, because we ain't got the eggs. So basically anything with eggs at the moment is kind of off limits. We're going to have to just keep it fairly simple. It might be because we just do like cooked corns and these things at the top here, just get them made, and then they can be automatically packaged into other things. So pumpkin pie, it doesn't use cooked pumpkin, so that will confuse things a little bit, but that's a minor detail. Canned French fries. Right. I think this game has stepped over the mark. I'm just going to say, that sounds horrific. Wow. Okay, that's a bit, yeah. But everything else, yeah, just basically we can can everything. It looks like that we can just cook, which is slightly concerning, especially the French fries. That sounds horrific. Okay, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to start ripping up the old things and putting in lots of Harvies and redo the pipework. So let me crack on with that. Flash, I don't think it's going to do anything, is it? Nope. Oh, I'm about to die again. Well, this was a quick run. Yeah. So it looks like I need to raise the height of the greenhouse area. I was trying to see if I can get the Harvies in, but it looks like they need to be sort of slightly higher, almost in height with the, or line with this ceiling, basically. So sadly, it means I'm going to have to get rid of my ornamental broken solar panel, which I've just left just for memories, but I think it has to come out. So it's all going to be moved up to the same height as the living area, and then I'll put a wall down here, I think. I don't know if it'll foul up this vent. Possibly will, so I might have to move that round to here, but that's a minor thing. These solar panels then going to have to be chucked up on top of there, I think. It was a bit fiddled trying to get them up there, but I'll work a way around it. I always do. Anyway, time to get this all shimmied around a bit. So I've finally done the switch over, so it's now a fully sealed off ceiling. No more should we say natural light coming in. There's going to be some lights in here added eventually. Well, I'll say eventually. There's already 2 in here. This will be the same sort of code I'm doing with the room sensors. So there'll be some basic chips. It is just logic I/O. So a reader and a batch writer is going to just set these on and off as I enter the room. Same sort of thing I've done in the manufacturing area. I've got some Harvies now installed, and they've got smiley faces. All I've got is clear options at the moment. These are at the moment just thriving and doing their thing, the tomato plants are. I've just put the 4 in, I've kept 1 seed back. The grow light, I originally put it up here, but turns out this actually blocks the light. The game is actually that clever now and works out that objects block light. So I've just plonked it along the back here, and that does narrow it out quite nicely because it's only going to hopefully grow this little area. I might eventually put some more possibly here, so we get 6 of a particular plant. And the next batch or next bank will probably have a light here, same again, just shine over a smaller area. I don't know how far the angle of the light is, because it does shine. You can kind of see the light effect here. It's hard to see on the ground. It looks like it comes across here. So if I have another one here, it will catch the light from there. So it is going to possibly be a case of having to have it here, and then hopefully a light fixture possibly more this way will then just shine over and hopefully not catch that light or catch that hydroponics grow pot thing here. That's the ideas anyway at the moment I'm currently going through. The other thing I'm trying to work out is how do we actually read the information off here. So I don't know if there's actually a way of reading the slots in with the configuration. There probably is. I've never actually been able to read them because in the devices you have what they call these logic slots. Now, let's actually have a look, see, is there a cartridge that does this? Because you've got the configuration one, but I think that's it. We don't actually have a logic slot reader. So I don't know exactly what that slot is doing. Because if I go to, where is this one here? In the hydroponics device, we've got all this information here. Now, I don't know which one of these I want to read because it depends. Obviously, seeding is when it's fully grown. I presume mature means it's ready to gather. I mean, it's not overly clear. Actually, let's actually read through here. No, I don't see any sort of thing explaining that at all. So yeah, we'll kind of have to guesstimate which one of these it's going to be. Obviously, we don't want efficiency. Occupied obviously makes sense, these sort of things. My gut feeling it's going to be mature. That would be the one I would think. Growth, possibly? I mean, again, would that be going from 0 to 1? So once it's fully grown, and then when it hits mature, that means it's ready to harvest. I don't want seeds off them, so I'm probably not going to worry about seeding. This is the thing. It's very, very complicated ways of doing this. So I guess I could actually just go full seeding and harvest everything. The Harvies also do have a writable state. Where did I see it? Where you can tell it to, where is it? Harvest. Now, again, it doesn't really say what that exactly does, and it's only writable, it's not readable. So I guess I just put a number 1 in there and it just starts harvesting, which would mean then that this wouldn't clear, because that's the concern. Would I end up clearing the plant out and destroying my plant? So it's all lots of little questions about going on in my head of trying to work out which ones what we want to do. Because on here I don't think we can see the harvest. No. So we don't see that anyway. There's lots of questions in there. Lots and lots of questions. So I think what I'm going to do is finish off building up a few more harvests, get these all planted out, try and work out the light angles, but I think that should be fine how it is. I might then just plant some potatoes, get those in, and then possibly, I'm really worried about taking a chance. I might let these just fully grow, get some more seeds off them, and then start experimenting. Which, at the moment, food is a bit, should we say, dicey? We are down to an extra tin of soup, because when Cork died, his stuff got dropped on the floor, and he had a half-eaten tin of soup on him, so I'm currently scavenging off his corpse. But this is all I've got left now. This is 77%. I'm hoping that's enough to get just one crop of tomatoes off, and then tin them up, and then I'll should be alright. And then it's just getting the seeds going and things like that. So, but at the moment it's kind of dicey. Very, very dicey at the moment. We're not in a great position at the moment, so I'm hoping I can get this semi-complicated system ready once we've got some seeds. So I'm starting to run into a little bit of an issue that I didn't even factor in. The grow light turns out not 100% intensity, so I'm only getting about 80%, which means I need to increase the light on time by 20%. Now I've just switched it back on because it just turned off on my script, and lo and behold, yeah, say the data received is still too high. The light received is starting to get up there, but these two at the back here really aren't doing as well, but the light intensity is the same for all of them. I'm hoping there's no sort of oddities with this, where it's the closer they are, the more efficient they are. There is a light efficiency setting in the corner there, but I think that's just how the growth is, I think. Let me just double check. Yeah, because you have temperature efficiency and things like that. So that's at 94%. These ones are literally being held back at the moment. So the only thing I can think to do at this point is do some minor adjustments to my code. The chip should be in here, and I've just realised I don't think I've actually got my laptop with me. No, I haven't, have I? So I'll have to go grab that. But that is basically the problem. I'll grab that chip out actually, and I'll just take it with me, and I'll do the code and edit it. Right, let's export that. So in theory, this should work better. In theory. But like everything I do, there's a lot of theory crafting. Whether or not theories actually work in the long run, well, at all, is a bit questionable. It looks like the plants look a bit more healthy, and if you look at the shadow actually, oops, I just bunged it in my inventory. It looks like you can actually see, looks like tomatoes on the wait, that doesn't look like, that looks like a hand. That looks like a torso. It looks like an Azure Stationeers hand, an arm reaching down, pinching my tomatoes. I'm starting to think that maybe I'm suffering some CO2 poisoning and seeing things in the shadows. So let's see, if I grab that, or pop that into there, should I say? we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that's enough just to move them from their state at the moment. They are just about compensated for the darkness time they've over-received on. Because they've got way too much darkness, they need a bit more light really just to push them past that. It's just strange that these two are the back here, but I think it might be a case of these two were left with the light on when I first planted, before I got the chip working properly. So yeah, that might make some sense. Yeah. I wonder if that 20% is also given it some darkness received, because that darkness is still staying quite high into it. And I wonder if I need to reduce the light off time by 20% as well. Because if the light intensity is only 80%, in theory they're receiving 20% darkness. Is that logical? I mean, in theory it shouldn't be, but it's the only reason why these numbers are staying up as high as they are, because we're still sitting at 200% or nearly 2% darkness received. So, okay, I'm going to leave these chugging away for a little while, monitor the status, and just see if that theory holds any water whatsoever. Well, I'm making progress. It seems to be balancing out, and the light efficiency is actually shooting off the scale now, so they should grow quite quickly. These two at the back here are slow, and battery decides to die at that exact point in time. Let's just pinch the battery out of this, because, you know, might as well just pinch batteries rather than do it properly. Meh. So, at the moment, these two are still lagging behind. I'm hoping they will all balance out eventually, because they've got enough light now. So hopefully this light stress will start to diminish. And these are hardly getting stressed actually at all, which is impressive. So maybe the grow light can just stay on all the time. I mean, I would have thought it would have stressed out more. The other weird thing I'm seeing now is the Harvies, for some reason, are not happy. I don't quite know why that would be the case, because the plant is now thriving. So, yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. There must be a logic to it, possibly taking something else, but I mean, the conditions are fine, so we should have tomato plants. I have put most of the shoots and Harvies in now, but I have realised this row here needs to be slightly tweaked, because to get another Harvie in here, I might have to stagger it slightly. I could always just put one here. It means I've got to change this wire around again. I'm tempted to bring it right over and drop it down here, out of the way, instead of having it coming down there. But then the cable will probably coming out here, so possibly have 5 per planted area. It's going to be easy to work with. And then I can simply just add those in fairly easily, hopefully. But it's still a bit, yeah, all over the place this stuff is. So, but yeah, I'm just still waiting now for this. Aha, light is now turned off. So now, let's see. Yeah, darkness received. It's got more than darkness received and light received, so they're kind of way over what they need now, but that should all calm down as time goes on. So, okay. Well, at the moment, as I say, it is now a game of just waiting. So luckily, you don't have to wait for this to happen. I have to in real life. So hopefully I'll catch you in a little while with some tomatoes. So while I was having some lunch, I left my game running just to get the timer ticking along and use the cryopod so it freezes your food and hunger rates. And it's been an hour. Now, the light received is still going down. So obviously that 20% boost I put in has not made a difference, because they're all still sitting quite low. These ones actually getting quite low. We're also getting a lot more darkness received than I thought. So I'm a little bit puzzled as to what number I need to set this to. I'm guessing it is a case of there's just too much darkness received again, so I might have to do a 20% cut. Maybe even more than that. Yeah, I think actually if I take 20% off the darkness time, maybe that will do the trick. Because at this point in time, it's definitely got more than the darkness now. It's getting to the point of being unnecessary. I've also been working on a little bit of coding. So I started working on the Harvie script here, which is going to do 3 Harvies and 3 hydroponic pods things. Right, I need to cancel that. Actually, I need to import that. Don't want to override it by accident. So let's see. The off time needs to go down by 20%. Right, so I'll make that 384. I might round it down just to 380. So we take 100 seconds off. And we'll see if that does the trick. I mean, ultimately the plants are going to get a lot more stable. Well, not stable, but their sequence is going to change enough, the genetics, to be more compensated for this grow light. Because I suspect they've been... Because this is the second generation from the originals. And I'm wondering if they have become conditioned for more light. Because they had the light that was in the hydroponic station. And also the natural sunlight. So, yeah. Okay. We'll see how that goes. Run it for a little longer. They are thriving. They're not deteriorating or anything. And the efficiency is right up there. So, everything is okay. It's just, again, I would rather have it a bit more closer to what we want rather than anything too crazy. So, yeah, I'll leave that going for a little longer. It's still weird that these two at the back here got all the light received, but it makes sense, I guess, because these ones were later. After a very long wait, we finally have some tomatoes. Now, the interesting thing is the Harvie does just change to harvest tomato. It'd be really cool if the Harvies just had in there some sort of logic or some sort of state that you could then read it off, because the button does change from clear tomato to harvest tomato. That would be really just cool if it just had that option. I'm guessing all it's doing is simply saying your harvest one is just you pushing this button. But it would be nice to say it, because it can obviously has some sort of state, because the label is changing. And if that was the case, you'd be able to control, in theory, 6 of these, if not in infinite amount of these, as long as they've got the right state. But yeah, so at the moment, I've only created a basic script that's controlling 3 of these at a time. I haven't implemented it or anything. I've just plonked it in, and that's about as far as I've got. The other chip, what I'm going to do with the lighted one, because I'm thinking about having 5 in an area, I can have 3 on this chip, 2 on this one, because I'll have enough spare slots, and then I'll have 1 left over for something, maybe a countdown for the display, for the light timer. Yeah, something along those lines. I'm still, yeah, playing with those sort of ideas, so I was really just waiting for this to actually become tomatoes. Now, do we leave this to go to seed, or do I get these tomatoes and actually start making some soup? I know I can just plant the tomatoes straight in, which I should really do, and put that extra one here. The other thing I was then trying to work out is the light, because if the light goes here, it's going to end up reflecting over, or coming over here and interacting with this one. And if the light is here, this one doesn't get any light. Well, at least I don't think it does. Saying that, do actually, because that one is getting light. So yeah, if the light's here, it probably would catch that one. But then that implies that the line is a lot more wider, and it would catch these ones as well. So, I need to start planting out some more things, but it's a case of I'm not 100% sure yet. So let's get these tomatoes. And I'm not going to wait for them to seed, because I just need the tomatoes now. I'm going to leave the last one on there, because that one I'm going to use to plant into a new one. So we're just going to take these 5. Finally get some soup on the go. I've just realised though there is no tin in here, is there? So I need to go grab a tin. Oh, I did not realise that. For the longest time it used to be that I was putting a whole stack in. I mean, this is going back some time when I last actually made tomato soup. But obviously that was an update. So you don't have to split stacking when you just chuck it straight in. Well, that's a nice quality of life update. So no more splitting them, you just literally just click on them like that, and away you go. Oh, that is nice. That is really nice. There we go, final tomato going in. Handle down, turn it on. And hopefully, yep, there we go. We should have 1 tin of soup. Voila. So this will give us enough time now to work with, let me just cheese that. Gives more time now to work with this, because it saves having any issues. So we now have a second batch of tomatoes coming along nicely, and I thought, well, time to actually start semi-automating the food production. So I've made the automated oven, The only issue I've ran into is the chutes, inputs and outputs. They're the wrong way around for how I've built this room, because I really want it this side, but like that, and have the input on this side. So, and there's no alternative, annoyingly. I'm half tempted to just put it in this way round, but it looks ugly as hell, and I really don't want to do it like that. But it's not going to be that problematic. I mean, it's getting to that point of needs must. So if I put it here, I can still get around the back here, I can still get to the plants, things like that, and I can just bring the chute down into the machine out here, and then I can put another one maybe here. So I can just walk along the back here and still access everything. It's not the be all and end all, but at the same time it's going to be really irritating like that. The other way I could possibly do is have the other machine then facing this way, but I still need access to this just in case I need to replace filters, and I don't think I can get past here now, can I? No, because there'll be a chute there. Ooh, okay, so this might have to be moved out. Right, there we go. I've got it a lot more organised how I want it. So everything is now against the back wall. I've put in a couple of inlets so I can insert things like oil and things like that as needed, and empty tins into this one. So everything is now ready, and the Harvies have got a few more tomatoes ready to go. I'm tempted just to push the button and go. I don't think of anything else that could go wrong, so let's test it once. We'll use the one at the back. See what happens. Presume it's now going to whiz through here and appear here, hopefully. Yay! It worked! Cooked tomato. Still a magic bowl. And into this one. One cooked tomatoes. Excellent. Oh, that is insanely good. People have been telling me to sort this out for so long, and now I finally sorted it out. This is actually well worth it. So I think the next thing I've got to do then is just semi-automate the Harvies now to actually make them do their job. So I've grabbed the label maker, because I need to organise this whole lot out, because it's going to be an absolute mess. So I need to label them up so I know which one's which. This will be one. Actually, let's do it right at the beginning, because I think if I over towards the end there, it'll overshoot. And that one there. As long as they all match, that's all that matters. So I'm going to go through and just label these up so they all match a pod number, and we'll go from there. Right, I've gone and labelled up the first four. So it's going to be one Harvie, one hydroponic pod. And I've gone through and just done this very simple code that is on this laptop here. And it is simply just going through quite brute forcing, to be honest. There's no like intelligence, you would say, like going through an array thing. I presume there's a way of doing that in the game, but most of the scripts I've seen in the workshop just are limited to 3 or 2 fairly basic things. So yeah, there's probably a way of doing it, but this is keeping it simple. So it's simply just going to check to see if the plant's mature and then tell the Harvie to go harvest it. That is basically it. Very, very simple. Nothing too complicated at all. So cancel that off. So in here, the first one, we want to set this to Harvie1, and then this is Hydro1, so we need to go all the way through quite a lot of things. Oh. You know, these work better when they're all cabled in, don't they? Right, there we go, that's all now cabled in at last, so let's try that again, shall we? So we go up to here, and we simply set in here each one of these to their respective device. So this is going to be the hydroponics part 1. This would be Harvie 2. This would be hydroponics device 2. Harvie 3. And then hydroponics device 3. There we go. So let's just double check all them before I click the button. Harvie, Harvie, Hydro, Hydro, Harvie, Harvie. Right, turn it on. And away they go. It's working, it's working. It's working, it's working, it's working. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I think only that one's going to work because the fourth one is not got any code on it. So that's it. Perfect, that's done it, and it's not ripping at the plants either. Yes! Celebrations. Oh, shush. Spoiling my fun. Right. Any other bleeps? Seriously, this is my life, just constant bleeps. Right. Cook. Oh, yeah. Next thing what I'll try and do is automate maybe this making stuff, but I'll be honest, I want to probably keep it manual, because there's going to be different scenarios where I might want things to go different ways. I could actually put in a little chute thing here to send it out, so if I want to make a muffin, I could just poop it straight out. Ooh, that's a thought now, isn't it? Okay, that might be something I'll play around with. Yep, 4 cooked tomatoes. Okay, so we need another one in the system, which... Boop! Just to get the 5th one in. I do need to go grab a tin of... An empty tin, actually, because I haven't got an empty tin. Let me just go grab one. Right, there we are. I've got my empty tin, ready to go. Bonk it in, doodle-doo. That's all in. So it just needs now 1 cooked tomato. It's weird that it's like a welder arm thing. I don't know what that's... I can see the heating element, but that's odd. And cooked tomato. Or cooked soup. Oh, go, go. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. That is cool. Okay, that has really made a big difference now. So we can now just make as much soup as I want. I can live in soup. But I want to make it a bit more stuff, I think, to be honest. Because I feel like tomato soup, just living on it, we're going to get, I don't know, some sort of vitamin deficiency. Or at least I feel like that's something they might add to the game later on. I can just feel it. Well, I think on that triumphant result, shall we say, and the massive pile of mess I've left in the corner of the grow area. Oh, I did also add some more batteries, but that's fine. We don't need to worry about that. I think we'll call it there for this episode. The next stream should be tomorrow, because this will come out hopefully on today or Friday, because I'm recording it, if all goes well. So the next stream, the goal is to get that blasted rocket built. I have said about it the last 2 streams, 3rd time's a charm, I am going to build that rocket. That is my next goal. Everything else is sorted now, power sorted, food is sorted, all the other disasters are done. Rocket will happen. Mark my words, there will be a rocket. Or catastrophic failures. Either way, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Bye for now.